Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. His eyes are poking out of his head. Anyway, this is Arthur. He's now almost 3 months old. It's been a while since I posted. It's been a long time since I posted a video. So I basically just wanted to introduce you to Arthur and explain where I've been, because it's a long, dark story. You meet Arthur at the same time as I explain what's been going on. Yeah, what's been going on? Theo is currently napping as well, if you are wondering where he is. So obviously the last video I posted on this channel was the 36-week pregnancy vlog, I believe. I was planning on doing a whole load of other videos, and then I got to 37 weeks and I went to my midwife appointment and they basically said you need a scan. Went for a scan and they saw that Arthur was getting too big, and they kind of explained it like I had to be induced at a certain date. So we had my induction date given to me. They offered me sweeps and I actually took it, which they started sweeping me at 37 weeks, which I thought that I had to do for his safety. They kind of made it like that was the case. Looking back now, I would not do it, but I generally thought it was for his safety. I wasn't actually sweeped at 37 weeks. I attempted it, couldn't because the cervix was closed. 1 week later they attempted it again, they managed it, and then a few days later they did it again, and that's when it put me into a 6-day labour. I'm not going to go into my whole labour story because that is a whole different video, because it was traumatic as hell. It's really put me off having any more children. Left me with a lot of emotional scars, let's just put it that way. But I'd do it all over for you, Artie Barty. Yeah, let's just put it in the way that I will not be going through any of that again. Anyway, yeah, that's I'll probably do my labour story in the next video. It's very, well, to me it was very traumatic. To others it might not be, but why I went into labour and I went into the hospital and I was in there for a few days before I had Arthur. Anyway, gave birth to Arthur. And literally like that, postpartum depression, which I can't believe I'm saying on camera, because I always felt like I would never tell anyone that I went through it, but I feel like sharing my story and sharing my experience would help a lot of women. So anyway, I got postpartum depression instantly. Like honestly, my mood just, I didn't want to be near him, I didn't want to look at him, I didn't feel like I was his mum. I felt like it felt like a chore. I hate saying it because of the guilt. Honestly, now I'm closer than ever with him, but the guilt and all that eats me up to this day. Yeah, it does. Anyway, so give it 4 days, and then the perinatal mental health team get involved, and crisis team, just because of how I was feeling. I weren't eating, I wasn't showering, I weren't brushing my teeth, I weren't like wanting to do anything. I was exhausted because I hadn't slept in 7 days, so I was just getting worse. So a mother and baby unit actually offered a room, and me being me, I was too scared to go in. I was terrified because of the way I was treated in hospital, which I'll get into in my labour story. I was just way too scared to go into a place like that. So I turned that down and I just kept getting worse and worse. Eventually I did end up going down to where my parents live, and I stayed with them lot for a few, well, like, I'm gonna be honest, 2 months. I was still seeing Theo, I was still seeing Oliver. I couldn't bear to be in this house because of the trauma. And it's where they were going to help me extra with Arthur, because obviously at the time I didn't want to be near him. I couldn't do him on my own. I just didn't want anything to do with it. I needed the extra help and I couldn't have it at home. We're all back together now though. If anyone is wondering, we're all fine. Theo's fine, like nothing's wrong now. We're all back together as a family of 4. Anyway, so I was put on medication, sertraline, which loads of people probably know about. It's an antidepressant, and as soon as I was put on them, my bond started growing with Arthur. I was more motivated, I started eating again, I started showering, and it's literally like after a few days I was fine. Obviously I get the down day, and like a lot of trauma has been put into me in the sense of like if I feel tired I start panicking because of how long I was left to be tired for. If I drink certain things as well, like a drink I drank in the hospital, I tried it and I couldn't. It's just hard even looking back at photos from the day I gave birth, because instantly after he was put on me it was fine. After a few hours I was so down, I was so depressed. The partner has to go home for the night. Well, Oliver had to go home, and in the end I actually ended up discharging us. We were both fine, like they wouldn't have let us go otherwise, but we ended up going back, and then Oliver left because he had to, but because of the panic I discharged us and got home, and it was really just way too hard and I couldn't do it. So yeah, that's where I've been. If anyone is wondering, I'm okay now. I'm not in any way as bad as that. I wouldn't even say I'm bad now. I just get like the odd day where I'm just a bit like overwhelmed, but I feel like that's normal when you have 2 children or 1 child, because these little rugrats are not easy to deal with. Wouldn't change it for the world though. Let's get to Arthur. So this is Arthur. His name is Arthur, and then his middle names are Lee and Graham. We've got Theo Michael, we've got Arthur Lee Graham. He was actually born the day before Theo's birthday. Couldn't have timed that any better, honestly. Because whilst I was in labour we were actually like, right, I need to hurry up because else he's going to be born on Theo's birthday. So yeah, so Arthur's is the 14th of June, Theo's is the 15th of June. It's going to be an expensive June because my birthday is also June. Speaking of birthdays, Theo's now 2, I'm now 19, and obviously Arthur's been born. But yeah, so born one day apart, or 2 years in a day, or 1 year and 364 days, something like that. But anyway, he is just such a little ray of sunshine in our lives. He is such a well-behaved little boy. He's very vocal, and Theo has adjusted so well with him. Obviously, like, bringing a new baby into the mix was bound to be like a little bit difficult, but Theo has honestly just blown us away with the way he is with him. Like, he gives him kisses, he gives him cuddles, he's so gentle. He tries to play with him, but he knows he's little, so he's gentle about it. It's just so sweet, and he always tries to give him his dummy and just like things like that. You love your big brother, don't you? You're always laughing at him. You're always laughing at him. You are. Oh, we tiring you out. But yeah, so he's just very vocal. He was born with a lot more hair as well. He's slowly losing it. Slowly losing it. He's on 5 ounces already. Size 3 nappies. Size 3 to 6 clothes. You are just a big eating machine, aren't you? Yeah, you got a hiccup. Oh, but he was honestly the most perfect completion. He was the most perfect completion to our family, weren't you? No? I'm gonna put him down because I think he's getting annoyed with me. Yeah, as well, another little update. We are actually waiting on being rehoused into a house, because obviously we live in a coach house at the moment and we are overpopulated, I think they call it, because this is only meant for 3 people and we're now 4, I believe. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the nearby future we get housed into a house. Oh my goodness, it's so much more stressful living in a coach house and trying to look after the kids, because we haven't got a garden, we have nowhere to hang washing unless it's on an error, and it's just very stressful. And I struggled with the newborn stage so much when Theo was a newborn, but now I'd rather 2 newborns than a newborn and a toddler. Toddlers are crazy little things, especially since Theo's hit 2. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. But yeah, I feel like that was a nice... Excuse me. I feel like that was a nice, quick introduction back into YouTube. I've only just started posting on TikTok again, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed meeting Arthur and seeing where I've been. And I'm sure I will do a labour traumatic thing in my next video, on my video after that. I'm very nervous to do it, but I want to make it a really good video because I want to spread awareness, because honestly I didn't know how bad postpartum depression could get, and it was a very, very scary, worrying, life altering experience for me. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe, because I post, well, I will start posting at least, hopefully at least once a week. With 2 kids you can never be sure. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Okay, bye guys. Bye guys. Bye guys.